Let's say we ate a cookie. What happens to it once we start to eat? How does our body get energy and nutrients from it? We will be showing how you gain energy and nutrients from your favorite mouth-watering treat. There are two types of digestion, physical and chemical. When we first eat the cookie, we begin to chew it. This is the physical digestion because we are physically breaking down the food into smaller, more digestible chunks.
Chemical digestion starts with the salivary glands. The salivary glands produce saliva, which contains digestive enzymes to break down the food. Each digestive enzyme targets a certain type of macromolecule. For example, the lingual lipase starts the digestion for lipids.
The food passes over the epiglottis, which prevents the food from entering your windpipe by covering it up as the food moves into the esophagus. The esophagus expands and contracts, moving the food down to the stomach. This process is called peristalsis.
Now the stomach expands temporarily to store the food. The stomach churns and physically breaks down the food. Next, it releases gastric acids and enzymes, which chemically break down the food. Each enzyme has a specific job. For example, the enzyme pepsin breaks down proteins into amino acids. The pH of the stomach drops to 3. So you may wonder how the stomach isn't damaged by the high concentration of acids. The stomach walls actually create a mucus-like layer that protects the stomach cells from the high levels of acidity. From time to time, the stomach releases a little bit of the digestive food into the small intestine, where the food is broken down further and nutrients are absorbed.
The small intestine extends for 6 meters. As the food travels through the small intestine using peristalsis, chemical digestion by enzymes continues. Again, different enzymes have different jobs, different molecules that they can break down. Once broken down, the nutrients are absorbed by capillaries found on villi, which are little strands on the walls of the small intestine.
The nutrients absorbed by the small intestine are processed and made into new compounds by the liver, the chemical factory of the body. In addition to producing all the chemicals that the body needs, the liver produces bile, a fluid made up mostly of carbohydrates, which breaks down fats into fatty acids.
From the
The
small
excess
intestine,
bile is
food
stored in the
travels to the
gallbladder.
large intestine, which gets its name from the fact that it is wider than the small intestine, but it actually isn't as long, only 1.5 meters. The primary purpose of the large intestine is to reabsorb the excess water and salts, called bile, in the food and any remaining nutrients. The large intestine prepares the food for its.
The final stage of digestion is the excretion of waste. The large intestine changes the undigested parts of the food and converts it into stool. The rectum stores this stool until it is pushed out of the body during bowel movement and out of the